Alright guys, good day guys, this is Fozy Court. Very quickly I just want to show you a very new strategy that you can use to identify which order block is going to hold and just know specifically what you should be trading based off on your trading strategy. I'm talking about institutional trading here. So if you don't know about institutional trading and you want to learn about institutional trading, you can send me a message and I'm going to put you through on how to trade using institutional trading strategy, smart money concept, and all of those stuff. But very quickly, I know a lot of traders we have. Okay, before I proceed, I would like you to like and subscribe on my YouTube channel because I'm going to be dropping more content. Just, very good content like this, so you'll be seeing it very, very often on my channel. So please like and subscribe. So, before I show you how this strategy works, I noticed that a lot of traders, institutional traders, they don't know which order block to hold up. Like, okay, which order block should I be taking? This order block? Should I be taking this order block? Should I be taking? They don't know which particular order block should they be focusing on. So basically, I'm just going to be showing you how I use this strategy to know which order block. So we're going to be looking at momentum, order blocks, imbalance, market structure. So these are the four main things that I use on this strategy. So if you look at my chart very well, you see these two moving averages line, these two moving average line here. You could see the moving average cross on this chart. So you could see the cross from the black line to this other moving average. You could just see the moving average cross here. So basically, we want to be focusing on the cross, and what we want to be seeing around the cross, we want to be seeing either an imbalance or another block. Basically, just the two of them is going to actually just give us a lot of confluence on this strategy. But basically, an imbalance will be very, very nice for this strategy. So we want to be trading based off on the moving average cross. So anywhere we see a cross from this black line to this other moving average, and we have an order block or another block or an imbalance just around that area, we want to be taking our trades. So that's one way of strategy. So, and again, we want to look at momentum. Is there a momentum in that particular trading or that particular trade? So if you look at this two moving average very well, you see that the black line here is very, very slim. It's very slim. There's no much volume on this trade here. Unlike if you look at this other moving average line here, where we have, you could see that we have this impulsive move. You could see that the moving average line was very, very fat. Fatter than what we have here. And as well, okay, you can see this black line here. This black line will also have very, very fat movement here. We have a very fat moving average here as well. So we want to be looking at, so this moving average, these fat moving averages show us that there's momentum on that particular trade, on that particular trend, that there's momentum in the trend. So when we see a very fat moving average like this, we know that there's momentum in the trend. So we want to be looking for the cross around to take our trades. So that's just what it is. So if you look very well, you could see that we have a cross here, and if you look around that cross, we have just this imbalance here, just around the cross. And for those that know it, that understand ICT, understand smart money, we know what we are meant to do when we see a cross like this. We just take our trades based off on structure. If you look very, very well, market structure, just like I said, if you want to learn about market structure as well, you could send me a message. I'll teach you how I use market structure. So basically, if you could see market structure, we had a clean break of structure here. First, the market was first in a downtrend, and you can see that the momentum was bearish. You could see that the market was going down here at first. So, and now we had a break of the trend line here, a retest, and price broke this structure here, and you can see price just retested on this imbalance here. So imagine you got in here, you'd have made about 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 or even more than that. So this strategy actually gives you a very good risk reward. It shows you specifically what you should be focusing on and where exactly you should be entering on, just because of the moving average cross here. So we had the imbalance here, we got in on this trade. This is a 6 pip stop loss. We had a 1 to 10 here, I mean, this is 64 pips. So imagine your first target was just around this high here. You would have at least you'd have been on a 1 to 5 here. So you could see this is even a 1 to 7, and you'd have had a 1 to 7 just with a 6 pip stop loss and a 42 pip take profit. I mean, profit target. I mean, you'd have been it would have been good for you. So okay, let me just analyze this particular trend. So we could see that the market was trending down. You know, we had by the break of structure here. By the break of structure here, we had this moving average cross here. The cross was here, although you could see that the momentum started coming in from this order block here. I mean, but you could see that the cross started from around this level here. So because it started from this level here, we want to focus on this order block here. We want to be using this order block. We want to be using order block just around where we had the cross. So would have entered here. I mean, imagine you held your trades, just would have, if you go to the higher time frame, I know you see a very nice order block here on the higher time frame, like the 1 hour or something. So imagine you got in here and boom, you're on this trade just because you understand where the cross is, and you could see momentum around, and price broke trend line, came back. I mean, would have been on this trade, would have gotten at least a 1 to 3 on this trade. Yeah, so I have a 13 pip stop here, and this trade went for a 1 to 5. As you could see, a 1 to 5, just 13 pip stop. We had 65 pip profit target. I mean, so that's just basically just because we understand that we saw the moving average cross, we saw market structure, break of market structure, a retest of this level, and boom, we're on this trade. So we could see momentum here. Price was just pushing all the way up. So let's look for another level. So okay, so if you look at this level now, we had this moving average cross here. You could see the clean momentum that was on this particular trade here. You could see the clean buy. You could see that moving average was very, very fat. You could see the moving average cross. Now if you look very well, we have this order block here. Very, very nice looking order block here. Of course, we want to focus on the cross. That's this black move here before the cross. We want to be looking at the move before the cross. So just for a safe entry, we might want to just look at 2 levels here. So some of us might want to get in here, but for people like us, we might just want to take the entire zone, or just like this, or just this level here. I mean, because we are focusing on the cross, the move before the cross. That's the levels before the cross. So for some of us that took this trade, let's see what happened when we got in on this trade here. So let's just measure it and just see what happened. Oh, so you could see that price traded into this order block. So now you could see very well, if I had taken this entire range here, I mean, I would have not been stopped out, you know, but I would have been on this move, as you could see. So I would have been on this move here, although I took a loss here because due to other factors, you could see that the trend has changed already, so some other things. So basically, if you want to be using this strategy, you don't want to be taking this strategy, you don't want to be using it if price does not retest on that level in a short time. I would advise that you should not take it, because we are scalping, and because we are scalping, if we hold on to that particular trade for too long, or that particular trend for too long, we might be wrong. Like if you look at these 2 trades we took, it was just on the short-term basis. So if you look at this whole move here, you could see that, I mean, overall the trend has actually changed over time. So that's why this level might not be valid again, you know. So let's look for another trade. Alright, so if you look at this level here very well now, you could see that at first we had the market was ranging at this level here, and we could see that we had this clean buy here. You could see that there was heavy momentum coming into the market as well. if you see, there were imbalances at this movement here. We had this imbalance here, you know, on the higher time frame. If I go to the higher time frame, we're able to identify that this whole range is actually an order block on the higher time frame. Like, okay, let me just do it for the 1 hour time frame. Yeah. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame, we can see it clearly that, you know, there was an imbalance here on the 1 hour time frame. We could identify that there was a moving average cross here on the smaller time frame. I mean, we have this imbalance here, which price filled to this level and boom. So imagine you looked at the 1 hour imbalance here. I mean, the whole imbalance was to this week here. So this was the imbalance from here to here. I mean, you just came to your 15 minutes. Oh, okay. So if you see now, we have an order block here, clean order block here. We have a moving average cross here. This order block is just around the level where we had this whole move here. So let's see what happened. Let's see what happened around this level here. So now we've been able to identify that this was a 1 hour imbalance here, which we had an order block inside of the imbalance. Of course, we see this clean momentum. This momentum here was very, very clean. Price traded to this level at first, respected it, and for some of us that took this trade here, because of this, would have been on this trade as risk entry. You know, imagine you took a risk entry here just because of the 1 hour imbalance you got in here. I mean, you would have been on this trade here for how many pips? This is almost 83 pips. You had a 1 to 8 here with just a 9 pip stop. And for those of us that are trading based on what I'm showing you now, just the moving average cross, and this, if you look very, very well, if you look closely below, you could see some boxes of imbalance. I mean, we have imbalance at this level here. You could see imbalance here. We could see that there's an order block here. I mean, so we know that if price trade to this level, to this imbalance here, we should expect some reactions as well. So that's the reason why you could see that price traded to this level again, to this level here. Traded to this level, filled this imbalance here that we had here, filled up this imbalance, and boom, we're in this move here. So imagine you just focused on this strategy. You will just know specifically which area you should be focusing on. Of course, you still want to frame up your ideas on some other things too. So I mean, you had a 1 to 3 here, even though you had a 13 pip stop. I mean, you're still able to hit a 46 pip profit target here. So boom, I mean, you're this move. So let's look for other trades. So now if you look very well here, we had this moving average cross here as well. You can see that the trend line was very, very fat around this level here. See that we had a very fat trend line here. We had a very fat trend line here. We had this clean, nice looking order block just around the crossover here. I mean, just something more like what we want to see here, and boom, imagine you got in here, your stop loss, you have a very safe stop loss. I mean, you would have still been on this move for some time, you know. You would have still been on this move for some time. Here we had the moving average cross here. We had the cross here. We had this imbalance here. If you look very well, you can see that there's an imbalance here as well. And price traded into this imbalance here. Filled up this imbalance. I'm talking about this imbalance here. You can see that price traded into the imbalance just around where we had the moving average cross here. I mean, we had the cross here, we had the imbalance just before the cross, and boom. For some of us that took this trade as well, I mean, this strategy is a scalping strategy, so it's not a strategy that you want to take and hold for a very long time, or you want to take the trade and you want to, like, for example, what I mean is, if you take this particular trade here, you want the trend to just come back to that level in a very short time. You don't want it to come back to that level in a very long time, like something that we have here. We had this moving average cross here, and I mean, it took a very long time for price to come back to that level. Although it respected it, but then not very often. We want to be taking very short trades. Want to be taking very short trades. You get. So this is it, and boom. So for some of us that took specific, just exactly at this range here, I mean, if maybe just a few of us just focus specifically on this moving average cross here, I mean, we would have still been able to catch this first buy here. I mean, around this moving average cross, you could see that price was respecting a lot of crosses here. I mean, this strategy just helps you to filter a lot of trades that you might have been entering. I mean, filter a lot of wrong trades that you might want to take. So you could just see how the moving average cross is just giving us a lot of opportunities. And now we got in. Imagine we sold here. Imagine we bought here rather, and we had just a 1 to 2, not a very nice trade. And the reason why we had this rejection here as well is because we had another cross here. We had another moving average cross, a bearish cross for that matter. So this was a bearish cross. You could see that, of course, you could see that momentum was actually shifting from buys here. Momentum was shifting down to sells. So you could see that price sold, broke structure. Just, I mean, you could see a break of structure here, and price retested to this order block here, where we just had this moving average cross just around that level, and boom. Okay, let's say for instance we took this bullish order block here, would have been able to sell, catch all of these sells here. So for those that want to edge, you are looking for a strategy that can help you edge your positions. I mean, this is actually a very good strategy for those that want to be edging. So you got in here, boom. Here on this trade, so you still have a 1 to 4 on this particular trade, just because of this order block and the moving average cross just around here. Okay, so we had another moving average cross here. We had this small crossover. We could see the fat moving average that we've always wanted to see. I mean, show that there's volume here, and you see price retested, came back to this level here, although did not really come back to, but we could see that there was a bullish order block here that might have used, this bullish order block here. I believe it's this whole range here it's actually an order block on a higher time frame. If I go to 1 hour, I will see something nice. Where's that level? Okay, so this is the level on the 1 hour. Is this the level? Yes. So this is the level on the 1 hour time frame. Price retested to this order block here. Retested to this order block here. So imagine you filtered your trade from the higher time frame as well. You will have just been able to specifically just focus on this order block. So let's go back to lower time frame. Okay. Network is really bad. Alright, so this is it. As you can see, we identified that this level was a 1 hour order block, and imagine you were able to just catch this trade just because of that. I mean, just this level here, you would have gotten the 1 to how many pips? 7 pips stop, 7 pips stop loss. We made a 1 to 5 here. That's 41 pips. So you could see that as well. I mean, we're just understanding this stuff. So now we have this moving average cross here, a very small cross. Of course, we could see that the moving average was actually very fat as well. It was fat, you know, came back down to this moving average cross here. So would have gotten a very clean small sniper move here, just with this bearish order block here. I mean, would have been on this trade. I mean, at least to a level would have gotten a 1 to maybe a 1 to 2 or something, just on this trade here. Of course, like I said, we want to frame our ideas with structure. So we don't just want to be trading order blocks, just order blocks. We want to, so this is a 1 to 2, almost a 1 to 3. Yeah. So price broke structure at this level here. Probably we might have maybe gone break even on this trade. If you look carefully very well, you can see that we had another moving average cross here, which just around the cross here we had this imbalance here that price actually filled. You know, price filled up this imbalance. And I think based off on what we're looking at, based off on bearish structure, you know, might have sold here as well. So for some of us that sold, would have been on this trade, at least would have gotten a 1 to 3, which was trading just the imbalance. I mean, this was even more than a 1 to 3. This is a 1 to 8 or a 1 to 9. I mean, a 1 to 9. We got in here because of the moving average cross here, and we had this momentum here, so that the candles were actually very fat as well. Price traded, filled up this imbalance, and boom, we're on this trade for a 1 to 9. Okay, so we have this moving average cross here. This whole market was choppy. You know, we had this clean momentum coming into the market. You know, price and of course, for the imbalance just around this level, we had an imbalance here, because if we look very well at this particular cross, there is really nothing for us to focus on. So we just look behind and we could see that there was an imbalance here that price actually filled, and for some of us that saw it, we would have bought, you know, because structure actually shifted. So I'll show you the structure that shifted now. You could see after this sell-off, we had this retest, price failing to break below structure. Price broke structure, you know, broke structure highs, and price retested, and boom. For some of us that saw this move here, that are very good market structure traders, would have been on this move for a 1 to 11. I mean, you had a 6 pip stop loss, you have a win of over 78 pip, just because we saw the moving average cross, we saw the imbalance just around that area here, and boom, on this trade. So you could see that price started to drop, started to range, and of course we could see that we had a clean sell-off here on this trade here. So our focus might just be here, that probably if price trade to these levels in future, you might want to take some sales here. And I think this is where we're going to end this video. So please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any question, please send me a message and I will respond. Cheers and God bless.